Can Corsair make a laptop? They clearly can. The real question is, can they make a good laptop? Let's find out. We have a nice little cloth to get your fingerprints off of it. Comes with a nice little laptop case, Corsair branding on it. For power, we get 230 watts from this brick right here, delivered through a barrel plug. This is a very tall laptop. Like, look at this. The way that they have their whole streaming chummy up here. Like, just for comparison here, that's the XPS 15. It's so much longer. This is going to be a legitimate problem for a lot of people, I think. Backpacks designed for 15-inch laptops, I don't think we'll be able to put this in it. Overall though, I think it looks pretty good. It looks mean. I think that's accurate. It also looks like it's attracting fingerprints. Geez, I see why they included this. What do we have for I/O? 2 USB Type-Cs, not Thunderbolt because this is AMD. We also have headphone microphone combo, our barrel input. Anything on the back? Nope. Then around this side we have full-size USB Type-A, another USB-C, and a full-size SD card reader. Really like to see that. I was just told these are USB Type-C Gen 4, and it has Thunderbolt 3 compatibility? Damn. This feels like maybe just under 5 pounds? 5.28, not bad. Oh my God, it's so tall. Look at this, this is ridiculous. We have so much space down here for their streaming doodads. Like, I think that this actual display is the same. Yeah, the display is the same size. It's so tall that it's like screwing up our lighting. I'm not getting light to like this half of the laptop. This is shockingly stiff, if I'm honest. I was expecting it to be a bit of a flop monster because Corsair's never done this before, and I kind of figured that they have, what, 2,500 employees? A company like Dell has like 160,000? Like, how would they possibly be able to match that? Massive trackpad too. Oh, we've got our streaming buttons. I need to tell you about our sponsor. Thanks to Jackery for sponsoring today's video. Jackery's new Solar Generator 1000 Pro is their fastest solar and wall recharging generator yet. It consists of a Jackery Explorer 1000 Pro portable station and 80-watt solar panels. Plug it into the wall and get a full charge in under 2 hours to deliver up 100 watts of power thanks to the 2 100-watt power delivery ports. Check out the new Jackery Solar Generator 1000 Pro at the link down below. I'm looking at this message on our trackpad here and I don't quite understand what it's saying. If I double tap here, does it just disable the right side? It does. Why would you want to do that? Like, I could make an argument for why you might want to disable the left side, because like if you're gaming, you have your mouse here, you have your hand here, it's going to be resting on the left side of your trackpad, but here they disable the right side where I don't get it. Arrow keys. No one uses the arrow keys, Andy. But whatever, we'll never use it again. By default, we have Elgato stuff here, and it looks like that we have streaming buttons bound. Oh, that was a satisfying feel though. This Elgato software, which I think should be working but is not. S macro keyboard. What is this then? Nothing's assigned, but they have this Elgato overlay here that matches the layout of my macro keys here, but it just does nothing. If I'm honest, I don't stream, but I do use macros all the time. I will normally have like a bunch of ones set up for Word, Excel, and SolidWorks, and that just makes my life a lot easier. Info. S buttons can be programmed for streaming actions in the Elgato Stream Deck software. But it just told me to come here! This is a bit of a pain in the arse to do. I really like macro software where you're able to program it without going in and doing all this software bullcrap. This is the sort of stuff that I will use once and then probably never touch again, and if it isn't quite what I want, I'm never gonna bother with it. New assignment, keystroke, key, S2, text. Text 3. Jake is a butt. Not the Jake that is here, the other one. And S4, let's have it open up Notepad, because that's where I want to go next. Select application. If I hit S4, yep. Okay, she works. All right, we opened up Notepad, B-roll, L-roll. Jake is a butt, not the Jake that is here, the other one. It's working. All right, great. I could legitimately see this being very useful. It works decently well. It's not making your keyboard in a stupid spot like some of the ones where they'll have macro keys over here and your whole keyboard's like, Reh. All right, let's open our Notepad back up and figure out what the keyboard is like. It's not the best that I've ever experienced. It's kind of weird. There's like a lot of travel kind of before it actually types. The way that the keys yield is just kind of strange. There's like not really like a tactile bump. It's kind of like a, that sound is the only way that I can describe how this key press feels. What would I rate it as though? A-, I think? This is a very good trackpad. Like, I am honestly shocked that Corsair has been able to come out of the gate and make something that's this good. Well, they probably didn't. They probably just sourced a good trackpad from someone, in which case, good job. A lot of people have a lot of trouble doing that. For the processor, we get a Ryzen 9 69, nice 100HS. That is 8 cores, 16 threads, and just generally quite a nice little processor. I believe this one goes up to 40 watts. We also have 32 gigabytes of RAM, that's 4,800 mega transfers per second DDR5, 2 terabyte SSD, this is gonna be a frickin' expensive config. Also Wi-Fi 6E, thanks to Qualcomm. And to round it out, we have an AMD Radeon RX 6800M. That's slots somewhere between 3070, 3080 performance. Here we have what I would consider the best gaming laptop that you can buy that's reasonably thin and generally just a good one. For specs, this has same processor, 6900HS, same amount of RAM, same speed. It does have 1 terabyte less storage, but most importantly, we have an RTX 3070 Ti for the GPU. Now, we already know that the Zephyrus G15 is an excellently cooled machine, and that 100 watt TDP, it does it great. How did Corsair do? Apparently they have a vapor chamber. I don't know how well they have actually done it. This is a streaming orientated device. And although it seems to have some pretty cool streamer things, one thing I was a bit concerned about was the GPU. AMD's Radeon GPUs are pretty great at gaming. Actually, I would say they are exceptional at gaming. What might matter to you though is the encoders. NVIDIA's NVENC encoders are frickin' incredible. So if you want to stream, you can do so on an NVIDIA GPU, and it is going to be just a great time. Just simply recording some stuff right now on this, and it is taking up 43% of the GPU, and the GPU is currently at 76 degrees Celsius. Now for this test, we are going to be using a fairly aggressive bitrate, so 1500 kilobytes per second, but I also know that that is absolutely fine with an NVENC encoder. Okay, so in fairness to what I said before, Task Manager is currently showing the NVIDIA GPU at 70% usage while it is doing this. The difference though, is that the AMD Radeon one has all of its stuff in the 3D category. So that's possibly the stuff that you use to do games? I don't really know. Another thing about having an AMD GPU here that is just worth noting because we're running the Tomb Raider benchmark is that it does support NVIDIA's DLSS. I'm disabling it, but you could potentially get way better performance by just enabling that on this. We do have Radeon Super sampling in this, which you can apply to anything through their drivers, but it's kind of a pain in the arse, so you probably won't most of the time. I'm almost certain that the Zephyrus is gonna win. I think this one right here is really struggling because of the streaming stuff. They are very similar in loudness. Oh, and their FPSs look identical. All right, maybe I was just an AMD hater for no reason, but they're both 240 Hertz, and they both look fantastic to my eyes. Well, here we go. 81 FPS, 87 FPS. So the Zephyrus won, but just a tiny bit. And I imagine that depending on the game, it's going to flip-flop around depending on which one of these wins. My bigger concern was the video encoding. But at the same time, same settings on each one, running on AMD's encoder, NVENC, they both worked great. Yep, that's very nice, smooth playback right here. Same with the Zephyrus. All right, my concerns about AMD's encoders were completely unfounded. So, good job. Windows Update. Freaking incredible. All right. You've gotta love it when Windows Updates just decides to insert itself into your gameplay. I don't know how much battery life this Corsair laptop gets, but I can guarantee you if you leave it in your backpack, it's gonna be dead afterwards because of Windows Modern Standby. It's terrible. Corsair, go and talk to Microsoft. Tell them it's trash. Even though this is only one benchmark, I am very impressed that Corsair has been able to keep up with the Asus because like they have been at this for a very long time, and the G15 absolutely destroys a bunch of other like 15, 16-inch laptops that don't have proper vapor chamber cooling in them. Huh, I think that we went 2 FPS slower without streaming on NVIDIA, so enable OBS, makes your games run faster. That's a tech tip right there. No, actually don't do that. I do think the Corsair is running quite a bit faster though, now that it is not encoding. All right. 98 FPS, all right, so we got 10 more by not streaming coding. At the same time, that's a fair bit faster than this guy here. So you do have a performance hit by encoding on the AMD GPU, which you did not have on the NVIDIA one. But at the same time, in this game at least, at these settings, the AMD one's a bit faster. I don't think this is gonna be great. I can guarantee you that the XPS 15 blows this out of the water. That's better. Yeah, that's not even like same ballpark. Like this right here is like kids playing t-ball in the sound department. Go and contact Harman or someone, Corsair. We also get to look at the displays here. Unsurprisingly, the XPS 15's display is better, but at the same time, this one's 240 Hz. I think for a gaming laptop, this is an exceptional display, especially 16:10. You don't get that all the time on gaming laptops, but it gives you just a little bit extra vertical room, so it's awesome for doing productivity stuff as well. Corsair says that they have a very good 1080p webcam in this. The problem is the quality of your actual hardware doesn't really matter. It's pretty much 100% software at this point. Now, the XPS 15, even though this generation was not very good, it was a huge leap over the old one, and this is like pretty all right. This is bad. Oh my God, this is terrible. Okay, so we're gonna have to just manual do this so that, okay, so maybe more brightness and more contrast. That's starting to look a bit better, but it's also kind of looking like a early 2000s music video. Yeah, it's just too much contrast. And it looks kind of strange, but at the same time, it's not the worst that I've ever seen. This is pretty challenging lighting. If you don't have a hat on, it's a little bit better. The shadows are pretty crushed. The highs are kind of weird. It's perfectly okay. Like, I think it is doing, now that I've tweaked the settings, a little bit better than Dell's, which makes sense. 720p, 1080p, you'd hope you'd be able to get it a little bit better. I would say that the webcam and microphone on this are perfectly fine. Okay, heck yeah. We have got Windows facial recognition on this thing, which is awesome. So we have our fingerprint reader right here and also facial recognition up there. Having both is excellent. All right, up until now, Corsair has done a shockingly good job. If it's upgradable, I'm damn impressed. The screws are not the same size. So if you are taking it apart, just make sure that you do something like this. Keep track of where they go. Don't put a long screw in a short screw spot or you're gonna have a screw poke through the frame of your chassis. Dang, all right. So here we have a massive vapor chamber covering both our CPU and GPU. We've got our fans, fin density, not super high, but at the same time, like we saw that it works pretty decent. 2 SSD slots, so one of them's unpopulated right over here. Super easy to upgrade your storage. We've got our RAM right there, Corsair Vengeance RAM. Damn, who would have thought? Oh, good old DDR5. Batteries right here. Super easy to replace if you want to, and if you can get replacements for it. And we have our Wi-Fi controller right there. And looking under there, if you take out the battery, it looks like you can even pop the trackpad right out. It's just held in with a couple screws. Good job, Corsair. Oh, the chassis is CNC milled as well. You can see it right here. We have our mill marks. Whole thing's probably done out of aluminum. Looks like it's all anodized as well, so it should last quite a while before it looks like poo. Pricing. Oh, it's really freaking expensive. This one's what, like 3 grand? More than that? As tested, this one right here is 3,050. That's a lot of change. But at the same time, this one's spec'd very high. What does it start at? Like a bit over 2 grand? 27, oh. Okay, so you're basically in it for 3 grand. So you get the G15 with an RTX 3080, which will help make up that performance gap. Same processor, $800 more. Oh, you have to really want some macro keys to do that, jeez. So good job, Corsair. You've made an excellent laptop. I really hope that you can make a lot more of them to get some economies of scale to bring that price down a bit so that I can properly recommend it. Just like, good job for watching this video. Hit like, get subscribed, and just have a fantastic day. See you later.